Hello? Hello? Hey, can you hear me now? Am I coming through loud and clear? Check, check. Testing 1 2 1 2. Am I back on? Oh my god. This is so embarrassing. Hello all, first of all, but second of all, why am I on my other streaming screen? Hello Anne-Marie Francis, hello Jukebox Cowboy. Yeah, I kind of realized last minute before, like, having to go live and shit, I had to go get some milk from the nearest grocery store. See, I have, like, a few different options of what I could make tonight for dinner. I kind of got a late start to the day because my days have been packed for the past few days. Oh my god, I have a lot to say about that, but... yeah, I had to go, I slept in pretty late today. I woke up, sort of had a late start to my morning and, tried to get some work done as far as editing on my Glam series. What else did I do? I had to get some last minute milk, as I said, because I have the option between, like, normal pasta with, like, marinara sauce and, like, making mac and cheese, and I don't know. I always prefer mac and cheese over, regular pasta with marinara sauce. It keeps far better for one, in terms of leftovers. But, you may have noticed, my guest isn't here yet. She's running a little late. She said, about an hour ago that she'd be home in, around an hour. So we'll see. Let me message her right now just to let me know. See. Okay. Yeah, no, how are you guys doing? I'm sorry about all those audio problems that just now, but hopefully the stream will go a bit smoother from here. I'm looking forward to my mac and cheese at least later. It was worth the effort to go out there to Target last minute and try to get some fucking milk. God knows that's not gonna be I'm not gonna be able to do that when it goes past 9 around here. I mean, I get it. I get why, not every store is like 24-hour service around here or whatever. That's fine by me. I don't expect that sort of thing. But it is a little inconvenient when you get a late start to the day and, you've already planned a stream a few days ago for 7. I'm sorry. I'm complaining. Y'all didn't come here to hear me bitch. Y'all came here to hear my music opinions and to talk music and stuff. Have you guys seen any stellar concerts recently? Because, oh my god, let me tell you, these past few days have been just incredible. I've loved, getting to go to Forest Hills and see the King Gizzard fan base again. As creative as they all are, like, oh my god, you go there, you see some of the get-ups they're in, like, it's wild. Like, there was a girl, I interviewed a few people there for something that I'm gonna do like later on. I'm not gonna go too in depth in my Forest Hills opinions or whatever here because I'm probably gonna talk about them in a more in depth video later on down the line. But oh my god, like some of the people, there was a girl who was like dressed in like a lizard wizard costume. Like she was wearing like red robes and she had like these green like lizard pieces on her head and stuff. It was really cool. What else did I see there? A lot of people in robes. I mean, obviously the Gila Monster video, they had those robed cultists chanting around the cauldron. There were a bunch of people in Air Force jumpsuits, which, recently, I think King Gizzard in their Flight B741 era, they really emphasized that sort of aesthetic, so I guess that's the in thing. I remember actually a few years ago when they toured Fishies, Fishing for Fishies, and they were all about those like red jumpsuits with the bike helmets. I went as like one of those, and I actually still have like my bike helmet. Unfortunately, I lost the visor for it like immediately after the concert, but that is what it is. It's whatever. At least I have a helmet for in case, shit goes south somewhere. You never know. It's always handy to have something protective like that, I guess. Let's see. Sip. Actually, let me see if I can get a picture of this real quick, because I got a new water tumbler while I was at a fan meetup for, I guess, before the second night of the King Gizzard marathons at Forest Hills Stadium. They had a fan meetup at like this pub, and it was really cool because they had a lot of people selling bootleg merch there. Let me see if I can get a picture of this tumbler I got there. Okay, and I will send that to my email. Come on, man. In hindsight, I probably could have done this before stream, but I filled up my water, before stream as is customary. I didn't really think too much of it, but, now that I have, like, a memento of me from this tour, it's really nice to incorporate, like, mementos from a tour or a concert that you go to, and sort of cement those in your daily life in some way. That's why I always like getting, like, tour shirts and all that stuff instead of, like, I don't know, standing in line for all the posters. That's not to knock anybody going for like the posters or anything like that. God knows I have like my own unique King Gizzard posters, but like I don't know, it feels like a mad scramble to be the first one in the door for those, and I'm satisfied just having my own my own what's a habit. Let me see. I'll try to bring up a, I guess, picture. Remember this? Remember this old thing when I did a harmonica on this channel? Who am I kidding? Nobody watched those old harmonica streams. Let me see. Is it this picture? Yes. Here we go. Let me scale it down. Oh, come on. Be kind. Yeah, check it out. Got a custom metallic tumbler here with an engraving on it. It says Nonagon Infinity opens the tour. Very, very cute item, you know. I get to have this with me when I'm just sort of chilling out on the side. I can bring it with me to the gym so I can take sips in between reps. You know, it's a very practical item that I can have in my daily life now, and I'm really excited that I've got something thanks to the endless creativity of the King Gizzard fan base. I also got like a shit ton of stickers and stuff, a few, even a book, but you know, the unfortunate thing is yesterday there was a lot of rain, so a lot of that seeped into my backpack, unfortunately. It was very sad. I don't know. It was tragic. All right. So she is, she's on her way, my guess. Score, yeah, it's an incredible item, you know, and I'm not sure, like how cheap or expensive it is to make one of these, but it's still, like, just, like, this priceless relic of a fan's love and creation nonetheless, and I'm happy to support local artists, how to say. I wonder if they do, actually, any other, like, engravings or etchings beyond King Gizzard, like, if they have, like, their own bootleg merch. But it was just so cool, that gathering, you know, because there were so many people doing their own little crafts and stuff. There was this guy doing, like, these etchings into these tumblers. There was this guy, there were plenty of people doing, like, custom prints and posters. Few people from their own, like, bootleg labels, you know, King Gizzard, they do their own, like, bootlegging program, and they release, like, their live bootlegs and studio demos and whatnot for people to release on cassettes or vinyls. There were a few people repping that. Like, I remember there was, like, the record label that specializes in selecting jams from, like, the King Gizzard live concerts. They were there. There was the people that did Super Poly 64, the fan edit of, like, the Mario 64 sound fonts replicating Polygon's Wonderland. I got a free download for that. I gotta capitalize on that. I mean, not that I listen to my own personal downloaded music that much anymore these days. You know, I'm all about streaming and stuff, for better or for worse. But yeah, that was fun. There was a lot of people that sold pins, stickers, custom prints. There was even, like, somebody who had like a custom King Gizzard coloring book or something like that. It was really cute. You know, it had a lot of activities in it, like Mad Libs, like crossword puzzles, connect the dots, like a very kid style, you know, Gizhead nerdy sort of relic. It's just, I love, you know, bands that don't really give too much of a shit about their IP, such that they allow the fans to really get in on, like, sort of making the most of the brand, you know? I mean, obviously there are pitfalls, and, you know, you don't want to give your fans too much control over everything. I mean, King Gizzard, they, what was it? People were trying to release their bootleg live recordings on Spotify for the longest time, even though King Gizzard exclusively released them to Bandcamp, I think. You know, the whole thing was that, you know, it's wrong that these people, you know, they were doing that and they were profiting themselves off of King Gizzard's music. So King Gizzard themselves, they put up that Spotify channel, I think it's called Bootleg Gizzard, where they've uploaded all of their studio demos and their live recordings. And, you know, now the music, the profit in that sense is in their hands. Even though it's still, like, by all means, the masters and studio recordings kind of not studio recording, studio demos. They kind of belong to all of us, you know, so long as we give King Gizzard a share of it. I think there was like, I'm pretty sure there was like a big vinyl booth at the Forest Hills shows, but that had a massive line. I'm like, oh my god. The unfortunate thing about like, you know, being a King Gizzard fan and wanting to see like all the cool merch they've got is that you've gotta, you know, you really have to you really have to be patient and like be willing to stand in like long ass line. Well, as long as you don't, if you're not getting there early, that is. I mean, I don't know. I kind of got there early-ish the second day, and even then it was still like, oh my god. I mean, I don't know. I guess I spent more. I could have spent a lot more time going. You know, instead of spending a lot of my time at that fan gathering, I could have gone a bit earlier. But I don't know. It was really cool. There was a lot of chill people at that gathering. You know, I kind of, at a certain point, I sort of stepped aside. You know, pulled out some catnip. You know, sparked up a bowl or whatever, and was just sort of hanging out by this. There was this one dude there actually who was doing like custom Polaroids for like 20, like suggested price $20 or something like that. And dude had his own bus. Like apparently there was like a listing on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, and he just sort of went in and swooped in and got it. And you know, his plan, he wanted to sort of travel up the East Coast and, you know, follow King Gizzard on their, you know, earliest dates, you know, on the recent tour, but that didn't exactly pan out, unfortunately. But you know, I was just chilling by this dude's bus, like he had like a few folding chairs there, and there was some guy came by. I don't remember. Like there were these guys, and they had like this cooler bag or whatever, and they sort of left it by me. They were like, "There's some beers in there if you want it," and I'm like, "Shit, are you just leaving me with free beer?" And there were like 4 Modelo's in there. It was really nice. I was just sort of kicking back, sitting by this dude's, you know, custom school bus. And keep in mind, you know, it was a short school bus that had like a lot of like dope psychedelic graffiti visuals on the sides of it. So, you know, I was chilling there. I had my 4 Modelo's, and I was also sparking up some catnip bowls. And you know, suddenly I got surrounded by these other Giz heads who were coming out to hang and chill and smoke, and it was just a really cool crowd. I loved, you know, talking with them about Giz and jam music and all that sort of stuff. I think there was even a guy among them who was like an editor for Alpharad or something like that. It was just like the most random thing. I was like, oh my god, that's dope. You work for a YouTuber that big. Speaking of Alpharad, I don't suppose any of you are following too closely Pokemon Worlds. I mean, I don't really watch Pokemon tournaments that much myself, but I've been hearing about it a lot more, you know, this year for some reason. I don't know. I guess I've kind of been tuned in a bit more to certain creators in the space, like Wolfie VGC, and there's this one trans-Brazilian creator, Cecily, who does some great video essays on Pokemon. I don't know. It's neat getting to see people go out to Hawaii and you know, celebrate their nerdiness over Pokemon. My dad lives out in Hawaii, right? And it's been a long time. I want to go see him again. I last visited him like, I want to say 6 or so years ago, but I'd love to go out there. I'd love an excuse to go and, you know, check out those islands again. They're really beautiful, and, you know, God, there's so many unfortunate encroachments going on with, like, you know, the billionaires that are living on Hawaii, like Zuckerberg, and, you know, all his imitators that are, you know, buying up tracts of land, buying up a lot of the islands and, you know, turning them into ass. And it's like, on the one hand, I sort of feel bad as a contributor there, but on the other, I'm trying to be, you know, cognizant of all the ways that, you know, Hawaiian tourism, of you know, of the ways like mainlanders come in and like sort of exploit Hawaii's natural beauty. I'm trying to be cognizant of that and, you know, not do that. Trying to stand as an example of somebody who loves and respects Hawaiian, because it really is fascinating out there, you know, like the history of Hawaii and, you know, their musical traditions. Like, I think there was this one song off of a recent UMO album, I Killed Captain Cook or whatever. It's basically like a ballad recounting the story of, you know, how Western explorers rather first came upon like the Hawaiian. Well, it's rather told from the Native Hawaiians' perspective, but what is it? It's like this sort of slack key guitar ballad sung by Ruben Nielsen, and it's very low key and, you know, lovely in a way. But it's, you know, basically all those years ago, you know, it tells the story of how Captain Cook came there and was received basically as like sort of deity figure by the locals, but, you know, sort of took advantage of their hospitality for, you know, quite a bit. And by the time it was time for them to move on, you know, they tried to, but then, you know, apparently something went wrong and they went back to the island. And from there, the Hawaiians were kind of pissed and eventually killed Captain Cook themselves. So, you know, so that's some interesting Native American. Well, I guess I don't know if the Hawaiians would consider themselves Native American rather than Native Hawaiian, but, you know, that's some interesting Hawaiian history right there. Yeah, I should really get more into, you know, that sort of Hawaiian music and, I guess, slack feature. It's really chill stuff. My dad, he doesn't play in like a Hawaiian band or anything, but he's been telling me that he's been playing, you know, with a lot more local musicians recently and just sort of, you know, chilling and not really, I guess, playing to pressure. I mean, like, he's telling me, what is it? He doesn't really want to play in a band anymore so much as just sort of jam with other musicians. And I respect that, you know. I guess it gets to a certain point in a musician's life where you don't really want to feel the pressure to perform, you know, to scores of people, you know, for their judgment or what have you. I don't know. I mean, I do definitely have fun when I jam with my friends or other musically inclined people, but I really do love spreading the joy and the mood and the vibes of a musical piece. I love, you know, getting that out to as many people as I can. Hey, Blackjack, how's it going, man? Good to see you in the chat. Ori, unfortunately, has not arrived yet, but you know, I've asked her to let me know to ping me and stuff when she is, and I'm looking forward to speaking with her. Yeah, how's it going, Blackjack? Good to see you. I don't know, that is something that I want to do a lot more, though. I want to jam with musicians and, you know, find myself in environments where I can sort of flex my musical muscles a bit more. You know, I think I've said in the past how recently I haven't been as motivated to practice drums, and you know, it's because my bands are a lot less active, my local bands in the New York City area. Thankfully, one of them I think is going to pick up steam. One of them, my front man just got back for, and he's only got like maybe like a few, like one more week of vacation stuff that he wants to do. He wants to like visit family, like in Jersey or whatever. But after that, hopefully we'll get back to doing something good. I'm doing pretty good, just chilling right now. Oh, that's good to hear. Love to chill on a weekend night. Let's see. But yeah, no, it'll be it'll be fun to get back into a practice space with those guys. It's I mean, I've been focusing so much of my attention recently on just making sure that I'm able to, stay on pace with this glam metal origin video. Thankfully for me, I'm just about done with the introductory section for it. I've got about 8 minutes edited, trying to aim for. I think the intro at least will come in under like 10 minutes, and that's including me coming in and saying low wall and all that stuff. So I have let it not be said that I haven't learned from my past videos and the pacing with those intros and all that stuff. For as much as I disagree with people's criticism of my second Fall of Kiss video, with my discussion of the backlash to disco and how it was kind of influenced by racist, homophobic sentiments, as much as I disagree with the chuds that come into my comment sections being like, nuh-uh, it totally wasn't like that. I do have to admit that there was something to their criticism that I went on for way too long, and at the start of that video about disco's decline, maybe I could have found a different way to, I don't know, at least make it more concise, make it more related to Kiss. Yeah, no, I'm good though, I really just need to, sit down and rediscover the joy of playing drums by myself, without. See, that's the thing, my dad, he loves jamming free of people's expectations, but it's kind of like other people's expectations that keeps me going on the drums. Not to say that I don't have my own drive for being a musician. I mean, I do love being a drummer. It's just like I love performing. Like, I love getting out there and showing people what you got, as it were. Like, God, I really need to find a way to map, like, some sort of, like, what Brime, I believe, the other day, when I had Brime on the stream, I think he was telling me a bunch of, like, good programs I could use to track myself for drumming, but I don't know, it's hard, like, especially with where my webcam is currently positioned right now. I don't know if it'll get the entirety of me on the kit. It's hard, man. It's hard. I wish I had like a direct line of communication with like Zentrea or someone like that to get a good idea of how they do it, but that probably involves all this full body tracking stuff that I'm not nearly ready to commit to yet. So all right, Ori is still on her way. Let me see, what else can I do? Oh, I guess I could talk about Geese a bit. Geese were the opener for King Gizzard. Y'all ever heard of Geese? Jukebox Cowboy, you might enjoy Geese. Reggie Zentrea collab would go hard. Yeah, I'd love to. If she, if she'd have me for like a drum battle ever, I'd love to do that. That'd be fun as shit. I don't know. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, no, Geese though. They opened for King Gizzard and they were, I wouldn't say phenomenal. I definitely I enjoyed their style of music. Like, they're very I guess sort of country rockish, mashed with post-punk, mashed with 70s classic rockish vibes. The recent album, 3D Country, you can kind of see it in the thumbnail for this week's stream. That's a really interesting album. I put them on at the gym the other day, and I was working out and stuff, and their instrumentals do vibe pretty well with, the workouts I do. But the vocalist, I'm not really sure I vibe with what the vocalist is doing. Like, you go in and you listen to some of the stuff that they got in in 3D country, it's, I don't know. It's a lot of hit or miss vocal deliveries there. But, live, I was all for it. The vocalist wasn't really that awkward at all. I guess they just sort of intentionally ham it up in the studio. Who knows? I don't know. I kind of do the same, I guess, when I'm recording, so I understand it. But, yeah, no, they're a pretty decent opener. I'd be interested in seeing them live again. Apparently they're a local act. They're from the New York City area, and good on them for getting the the opening slot in Forest Hills fucking stadium. God knows, I would kill to get a position like that in in one of my bands. God. Although it is interesting, like that entire Forest Hills area, it's kind of feels like its own little village sort of thing. Like there's a bit of German architecture in the run-up to the stadium, and a lot of other housing there from people who, what is it? I don't know. They're a bit of sticklers, I guess. That you could call them NIMBYs. Very negative about the sort of noise that gets made with these giant rock concerts or whatever. I have seen a thread suggested in a Reddit thread before that there is more of a problem with, I guess, EDM that gets held there. You have those massive bass systems. Of course, it's going to rumble like and all that. So I get it if like local residents might not want that, but like stuff like, loud rock bands or heavy metal bands like King Gizzard, like, oh my god, like, the entire stadium was packed last night. You get like a bunch of acts selling out that stadium. That's so much economic, like, that's so much economic profit right there. Revitalization of the area. I don't know if you would call it revitalization. I mean, I don't know the history of that area, but it's certainly, it's good for the community to have those giant concerts, to be bringing in, like, especially, like, the chill communities, like the King Gizzard fan base. I mean, obviously, you go out, you go to a rave, you might not experience, the most wholesome figures or whatever, but at least, with the crowds that I went to see King Gizzard with, I think we were very respectful. I think we were able to, at least, I don't know, we weren't menaces in the neighborhood, at the very least. Like, there were these people, there were these people actually after the concert, standing outside and recording everybody who came out, I guess to present some sort of evidence before the local board, like, there are all these young hip whippersnappers, coming in and, making a fuss and, making too much noise and keeping us up and all that. Like, I just go up to those people and I'm just sort of like, yeah, I just sort of pose, stick up a devil horn or whatever, like, yeah, man. So frustrating, it's like, I get wanting to a certain extent to manage like the noise in your house, but when you're living in New York City, at a certain point you've got to learn to live with a certain threshold of noise, especially if you choose to live close to like a tennis stadium or something like that, or God forbid if you live close to like Madison Square Garden, or I mean, I don't know if Madison Square Garden's open air or like what their acoustics are. Or, like, if you live by any other like open air stadium with like loud football games, or it's kind of part and parcel with buying your house there. I don't know. All I'm gonna say is that it's bitches like that ruin the local music scene, that get clubs to close, that have people dancing on glass to essentially get their to get their scene to get the local scenes going. It's a shame, man. Speaking of local scene, I need to do more research into like what bands, what festivals even are still playing, because like the summer is ending. I'm surprised at how quickly it's gone by, right? Like it's I mean, nowadays now that I'm a working adult and I don't really have a gauge on like what summer break really means anymore, I guess it's a little more understandable that it just sort of passes me by, but it's always nice getting like the flurry of activity that happens in the heat and like all the music that comes with it. And now it's just kind of passing us by again. I'm a little sad too. I made the decision to ultimately go to Anime New York City instead of going to the Hololive concert in King's Theater. But I don't know. Then again, there's been a lot of news coming out recently about how Hololive's management has been a lot more restrictive about what the talents can or can't do now. Now that they're a I don't know if they're like hundreds of thousands or millions or multi-millions or whatever profit they're raking in now. Now that they're a big business just doing gangbusters. I mean, fuck's sake. Guru was singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" at Dodger Stadium. They're on a different level of like success now that, being these guerrilla, sometimes lewd indie streamers, it's kind of introduces a lot more risk that, I don't know, that the clean sort of idol image doesn't really I guess make, how to say, it's at a certain point, I guess it's safer for, I guess, the investors in Cover or in Hololive to believe that going full idol would be safer than allowing their talents to take more risks or what have you. But it's still a shame, It's why I've been a lot more excited about, indie VTubers recently. It's partly why I've been doing this too, to, sort of branch out more and meet more indie VTubers within the scene. Like Blackjack, for instance, glad to know you, glad to have you in chat, glad to, have been exposed to your Dark Trap sort of music. I'm glad to have, also have met Brime Time, Teji Karaibu, few other people among their friend group too. I've been just sort of trying to branch out and get a better understanding of what the indie scene is capable of in terms of their music production, and it's been cool. It's been cool. Oh, I think we're ready to have her on. Let me. And by her, I mean a barista VTuber by the name of... Damn it. Ori Hinode. Let me actually...
Hello.
Hey, Ori, how's it going? Let me get... I got a few things I need to adjust here on my screen real quick.
Yeah.
OBS. Take this off. Go to the Fugies. How are you doing? You just got home from are you coming from work or?
Oh no, I had to take my sister and her friend to the movies today. We went to go watch Coraline in 3D.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they
Yeah.
re-released that film recently.
Yeah, it's their 15th anniversary.
Oh, very nice. Let me one sec.
But yeah, take your time. I apologize for being late.
It's all good. I've just been sort of rambling about what I've been doing recently. Where do I upload? Oh, that's right. Default override. And this'll do for your Fugi, I guess. Oh, wait a second.
Oh, that's what a Fugi is. Okay, I've never used Fugis before.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's just like this Discord reactive thing. You know, here, I'll send you a link for it. It's just like, you know, place for people to basically upload PNGs and be like PNG tubers or what have you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
if you
And it works with like
want,
Discord voice chat. Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, if you want, I could share my screen of my VTuber, and then you can add that as like a little.
Oh, I'm fine. It's all good. Let me just need to save your PNG again here because what was it? I had to add the an alpha channel for. Does that work now? No, that is still. Give me 1 second. Oh, hold on a second. That's just because I didn't complete with the export.
No worries. Let me.
Oh, here we go. This should work. There we go. Now that is fully transparent. It looks natural. Oh, wait. Hold on. God damn it. Revert. Save. Okay. Now that should work. Let me see if I can get. What's your? Oh, right. Okay.
Here, let's see.
Oh, nope. Oh, god damn it.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm trying to
Everything is
fix
coming
it
apart.
sometime.
Okay, I think that'll do. Welcome everybody. Oh, there's a lot of people talking in chat suddenly. Oof. About you working on this track that goes super hard. One Ori Hinode. Woo!
Hello! Nice to meet you.
Welcome, Dismay by Dre, to the chat. Good to see you. I assume he's one of your fans.
Yes, she is my friend.
Oh, excellent. Welcome. Well, Ori, welcome to my music talk stream. Usually, when I like to do these things, I like to open things up to my guests first off by, just sort of asking, like, how they got into, like, music, sort of, how they got into the direction they're in right now. Like, how did that happen back in the day? Like, what was, I guess, your catalyst?
Well, I've always been this is gonna sound stupid, but I've always been addicted to Osu, the game.
That's
rhythm
fair.
game. Yes, I've always played rhythm games all the time, and I just chill. Vocaloid got me really into music though.
Oh yeah.
Yes, as soon as I discovered Hatsune Miku, it was over.
I've never myself been, the biggest Vocaloid fan. I really do appreciate the technology, though. Just the whole concept of, a vocal synthesizer being able to, allow producers the leeway to, write whatever they want without, having to sing themselves. It's really creative.
Yes, it's amazing because they can convey anything they want through, Miku or whoever they do.
Yeah, and just like seeing all these different producers with their different styles, interpret these synthesizers differently. It's really nice. I noticed.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say, yeah, it's amazing, especially with all the advances that they've come out with recently.
Oh,
They just
yeah?
sound so much more realistic.
Oh, it's like starting to actually sound more like a human voice.
Yes, it's a little scary.
Well, they're always gonna be like chibi anime characters in our eyes. So
That is right. That is right.
yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, I'd be interested in seeing a Vocaloid concert at some point. You know, I'd be interested, like, especially with like the holographic technology that they've been kind of pioneering.
Yes, it's amazing. And that's why so many people were mad at this year's
Yeah, oh
concert.
yeah, I heard
It
about
was
that.
just like watching a TV screen. It really was.
Wow, that's funny. But have you yourself gone to many concerts in the past?
Well, this might be surprising, but I've actually never been to a concert before.
Oh, that's fair. Do you want to go at any point? Like, has it been a
Of
goal of yours to
course.
make it out to like a Hatsune Miku live?
If that would be like that's one of my bucket list things to do. I really want to go to a Vocaloid concert.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I've never been to a concert, but I mostly have been in concerts. So
Hmm.
it's the other
That
way around.
that's fine. Yeah, I I perform a lot too. You know, in bands too. I'm in like 2 local bands in the New York City area. I play the drums, so like, you know, I gig time to time. I also go to a lot of local gigs as well. So, you know, I'm just all about that music. So,
Just all
uh,
about that grind.
yeah. How to say? I guess related to that, do you have any, I guess, fun concert memories of stuff you've done in the past?
Oh, definitely. Actually, the one with Blackjack and Brime and Melodia and everybody, that was amazing.
Oh, did you have
Um,
like your own sort of like collab stream concert event?
yes, so it was for a nice YouTuber named Ivy Roselle,
Mm.
and she was having her anniversary, and she decided to hold a concert for her anniversary. So she was asking all these YouTubers, she was like, "Y'all want to be in my concert?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I brought my A game, and
That's
I
awesome.
decided to animate all of the music videos and everything I did.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, actually I do remember seeing that on your YouTube channel. You have like these 3D animated dances and stuff. How did you do that?
So, using a platform called MMD, which is
Oh
Miku
yeah.
Miku Dance, y'all might be familiar.
Oh yeah, I think I have like seen that sort of animation on YouTube. Is it just like taking like the wireframes of models and I guess like translating dances into them or something like that?
I guess you could say that. Yeah, it kind of does sound like that. I'm still trying to, figure out like the inner workings and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, people will like, for this is what I did. I ripped that motion, or I didn't rip it, but it was a ripped motion from a video game called Project
Mhm.
Sakai,
Oh, yeah.
and I put that into the 3D animation software,
Mhm.
and we use that because I don't know. I like the fluidity, and if I
Yeah,
were to
yeah.
make my own motion, it would be not as fluid as what that was.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like some decent animation for, you know, what you got with like a program like that. Whatchamacallit, I don't know. I've wanted to do my own sort of, I guess, 3D animation with my model in the past. It's just like I don't know exactly if my model has the exact bones for it, if it's like rigged properly to move around like that. Well, maybe it could work for like MMD, but like I'm more so thinking like moving like motion tracking and all that sort of thing. That's what I want to get to in some someday.
Yes, same. I love how they came out with these new motion tracking softwares. It's gonna make things so much easier.
Hmm. She made us into 3D models, all 5 of us. Oh wow, that's cool. What'd you do that with? You use Vroid?
Yes, a mix of Vroid Studio and a software called PMX Editor.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, PMX Editor is more like Blender.
Oh, okay.
Um, yes, I added the physics through there, maybe, all the outfits we wore. Because, Vroid is just so limited.
Yeah. No, I know personally. I use a Vroid model myself. I remember like back in the day, even when I was making my V1 model, they didn't even have like cat ears at that point. So I remember having to go on YouTube and like look up this tutorial of how to like model hair in such a way that I could get like a an ear
Yes.
sort of thing. That was a wild west of
Yeah,
of
those are
Vroid.
good times. JK.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm happy now that I don't know. I've got a usable model. I don't really tend to like change models too much. There are a lot of VTubers that like it feels like every month or so they're like making new costumes and outfits and premiering like new models and stuff, and I'm just like over here with good old reliable over here, and I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean, but I don't know if it's just me being a girl or whatever, but I'm excited to know that I want to make all these outfits and pretty things.
No, I mean, it definitely makes sense. I get the allure. And certainly, one thing I will say about being a VTuber and having access to especially like so many different free resources on Booth and all the free stuff already in Vroid. It gives you far more, I guess, creative potential to sort of, I guess, costume swap and make your like even I guess depending on the software you use that allows you to like pin certain objects to your model. It gives you so much different potential for like creative expression. I really do admire VTubing, in that way.
Yes, definitely. There's so many things you can find out there now that you can really find to like express yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
Cause, sometimes it's limited and you're like, this outfit's not really me. But you can always find a way around it. That's
Yeah.
how I made my model. I was like, I don't like colors on my shirts, but it does look really cute, so I'll keep
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah, there you go. um yeah, it's just shout out to like so many of the artists out there, whether they do the commissions, whether they're working professionally, like just seeing like all these incredible like live 2D or even 3D models on Twitter from time to time. It makes me kind of low-key jealous, but also, it makes me feel like I'm in a very cool crowd of various people.
Definitely, definitely. It makes me so happy that
Yeah.
people put in their hard work and all their talent to make these wonderful things.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, and like you go to see like the end result nowadays, like with all these 3D concerts happening through agency VTubers. Like I was talking to my chat, I guess, just before you came in about Hololive. They're doing their whole concert tour. And what was it? They're doing a show near where I live, like literally a walk away from my apartment. But I'm unfortunately already committed money to going to Sunday at Anime New York City around that time, so that's something I'm gonna have to miss out on. But it's a shame too, because I just feel like all these aesthetics swirling into place with like all the models, all the the pen lights, probably all the the light, just all the aspects of an idol concert. I just feel like it would like rock especially hard in that place. Like I don't know if you're familiar with King's Theater. Like look it up sometime like, on Google Images if not. But it's just like this beautiful like sort of old I think built in the 19th century style theater. It's an incredible venue.
Oh, that's in New York, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for my theater class in high school,
Oh,
my friends went over there for a senior trip,
oh,
and they
that's
went to
cool.
go watch Beetlejuice, I think.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that they put on some cool theater productions there from time to time. Do you also do theater stuff? Like, were you also a theater kid?
That this might be surprising, but I was a theater techie. I was
Oh,
never
that's
an actor.
that's fair. So you're in the same boat as Melody Bear. I actually spoke with her last week. She had a similar sort of background.
Yes, probably so. Yes, I never started acting until I graduated high school, actually.
Oh,
And did my VTubing.
that's fair. I had a sort of I had an interesting theater experience in that I was in you know, I was in one of those schools where you only had like so many men going out for parts, and they had to to the point where people were like where they were casting like the girls as boys in the ensemble, and like if you were a guy and you were semi interested in theater and you had a halfway decent voice, odds are you were the one that would get the lead. I It was one of those programs. I had a lot of fun doing that, and it gave me this sort of I guess passion for extending myself beyond who I am, into being an actor. I guess that's helped with my journey into becoming a VTuber. But I remember just like getting into college, and the college I went to, very serious theater department there. And I was kind of like, okay, I'll continue doing this theater hobby, see where it goes. I realized really fast that you really can't do that with college theater, because there are so many like different rehearsals throughout the week, different just like commitments you need to bind yourself to for an entire or most of a semester basically. And when like in reality, like if you're another major, like for instance, I was more focused on like music and history, it eats up a lot of your time. Like, oh my god, I'm happy I had the experience.
Yes.
It was a really fun production, but it was just like, whew, boy, it was a lot.
Oh my goodness, yes. I could say the exact same thing. I didn't dare sign up for theater for college. Um,
Oh yeah,
and I have all my fine arts credits already, so
that's
there's no
fair.
reason to. But yeah, we take it very serious over here because we got those competitions and statewide awards and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
So they take it seriously, and I'm like, I don't have time for that. I'm sorry. I want to, but I don't.
Yeah. As a person who was in theater and became a thespian, I 100% agree. Oh, you did theater too, Blackjack? That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. If maybe in another life I could have become a professional stage actor or whatever, but I'm happy doing what I do, as a VTuber. I don't really commit to any lore or anything like that beyond being a lazy orange cat boy who lives in New York City and plays music. But I do enjoy the feeling of getting to embody a character and sort of, like I said, extend my personality beyond myself in that way.
I've never thought about it that way before. That's actually kind of inspiring.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. There's kind of been a rich history of that with like the arts for a long time. Even further beyond like Hatsune Miku and Vocaloid, even beyond like Gorillaz, you had bands and artists far back in the day like David Bowie and adopting the persona of Ziggy Stardust and like being this cosmic glam rock sort of god in that way, if only for a few years before he moved on to another image. But it's just like there's something to be said for either celebrities or just artists in general who are able to embody an image and well, not necessarily sell it. I feel like that's commodifying it too much. But, just like, really, I guess, do something with that. By the way,
Right.
I apologize if you heard that just now. There was a massive thunderclap outside. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I heard nothing. That's crazy.
That's good. Yeah, I don't know. It's been raining a lot where I am recently, like over the past few weeks. I guess it's like those end of the summer showers or whatever, but like, geez, it's been a lot.
Yes, yes. Same here. We actually just got some rain about 2 days ago, so
Oh
probably
yeah.
moving across the country. Not gonna
Mm.
lie.
It's I mean, I like the rain to some degree. I like it being all atmospheric and moody and stuff. But I like it when I'm indoors. I don't like getting caught in it. Like, oh my god. Yesterday, I went to see a concert at Forest Hills Stadium, which I don't know if you know that venue. It's like basically a tennis stadium, so like it hosts like the U.S. Open from time to time, and it gets converted into like a concert venue for like bands for like mid to large size bands that come through. And I saw I don't know if you've ever heard of them, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard there last night. Um, Fantastic band. I completely unironically love them, and their their name is kind of part of that. But the point is, it kind of rained a bit for a good chunk. And the concert didn't get rained out, thank God. But like it rained a lot, and I unfortunately had I had a bit of merch in my backpack, like stickers and prints and stuff that kind of got soaked in it. So
Oh
yeah, yeah, it's just
no.
like it's tragic, I love, seeing rain, hearing rain, all that stuff, but you never want to get caught in it. It sucks.
Yes, definitely. Oh my goodness.
Hello, Anonymous. Welcome to the chats.
Hello, how are you doing today, Anonymous? Nice to meet you.
uh, at the acts districts and state cries in New Jersey. Oh my god, like the New Jersey theater scene. I'm actually kind of familiar with that. There was I remember playing in the pit actually for a few different plays that this local Jersey theater company did. It was a really interesting experience. It's like, how to say, there's kind of a bit of acting that goes into, I guess, performing a score for a musical. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just maybe I'm just like over emoting into it myself. But I just sort of feel like with something as theatrical as that, with all the flourishes and pauses for dialogue and what have you, there's a lot of thought and emotion that goes into performing, the background accompaniment for it. It's really interesting stuff.
Yes, I've never played on a pit before, but the closest experience I probably had to that was just marching band in high school.
Oh, yeah.
I've never done anything serious yet, but that's what I'm trying to do. So hopefully something comes.
That's fun. I actually did pep band too in college. I remember having a few, like, I was for a few semesters. I don't know. Was I on the bass drummer? I think it was like the snare drummer in my pep band or whatever. But it was just like a bunch of bunch of pop songs converted into your most basic arrangements. A lot of fun doing that sort of stuff.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I would have loved to do that.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. We got to go out to games, watch student athletes do what they do, and it was a lot. It was a lot of low key. It was a low key thing. I enjoyed doing it. I don't know if I'd necessarily go back to doing marching band stuff, but it was a fun little thing to The thing about that was there were a lot of people in the marching bands who were also in my college's like music service fraternity. So like, I don't know, I made a lot of friends through the service fraternity first. And then, they were kind of like, hey, you're a drummer guy. You want to join our drum line and pet band? I was like, I guess. Okay, sure. I'll do it for like a semester or so.
Yeah, and then you tried it, and then did you like it?
Yeah, it was fun. I had a decent time with it, but I was in a lot of different ensembles in high school. I did jazz improv stuff. I did big bands. I played the drums in that. I think I even did like concert bands something one semester, but I forget when. But yeah, no, I did a lot of different like. I even sung in like choirs too. Like I did I did college choir. I did like chamber singers. There was even this like Renaissance inspired like choir that I was a part of. Well, it was like part choir, part like it's called Collegium Musicum. Basically, it was like a gathering of a whole bunch of different like Renaissance instruments and like sort of Renaissance vocal stylings to play this old like English / I guess Low Country European music from the 16th, 15th century. Really fascinating stuff.
Wow, that is fascinating.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of a viola da gamba?
I actually no. What is that?
It's like basically an ancestor to like what you have now with like violins and violas and cellos and all that stuff. Like
So
there was
string
like
instrument.
yeah, there was like we had like an ensemble of those people like for the Collegium Musicum thing, and like there were a bunch of other like little flautists, like I think like percussion from time to time. It was like a very fun sort of interesting musical experience that you don't often get.
That's amazing. It sounds very historical.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it kind of almost is like, oh, we dug up this like music from like the dirt. It's from 1,000 years ago. Let's play and hope it's not cursed.
Yeah, no, it's fun, like, getting to do all that sort of historic recreation stuff. Because, like, the thing with the viola da gamba, I remember so clearly, like, they would always have to, be tuning constantly between, because, like, the strings would constantly be detuning. Like, I guess it was because they didn't quite figure out how to, how to tune everything so properly back in those days yet, but it was just, like... It's fascinating getting to, hold those old instruments and, I guess, bring those sounds back to life.
Right? Like, you think about it and you're like, oh, this is what the radio was like back then.
Well,
this is the Justin Bieber of our time.
I guess so. It bumped in the taverns of old.
Yes, definitely. But it's amazing because it sounds so nice. You wouldn't think it'd be so advanced for how old it is.
Yeah, no, it's definitely love that old Renaissance choir stuff. I remember I had to take as a music major, I had to take like at least like 2 different music history classes. The first music history course I took, it was, it's sort of focused on like medieval basically up through the Baroque period, and we learned all about that sort of Renaissance polyrhythmic stuff. Not polyrhythmic, a lot of polys going on back in that time. Like, oh my god, it just like... It's fascinating the sort of music experimentation that went on back then before we sort of standardized everything into our, 12-tone system that we have in the West. You go to many different musical cultures now, like in the Middle East, in India, in Southeast Asia, and they've got all these different traditions for like notes between like what we have, standard, in our standard tonality. But just going back, like to the Renaissance, to the Baroque period, and hearing like back in a time when these Western composers weren't too afraid to like play with form, play with harmony. It's really inspiring sort of music.
Right? It pushes you to like maybe even do better because you have so many resources now. Back then, they barely had anything. So imagine what you can make now if their stuff sounded that good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Were you ever in any choirs or anything like that back in the day?
See, no choirs, but I have been playing an instrument ever since I was maybe, 12?
Oh, that's awesome. What do you play?
No, wait, 10. Yeah. I don't play anymore because I played for so long. I'm tired now. But I used to play clarinet.
Oh, wow,
I'm a
that's
woodwind.
cool.
Yes, I played saxophone for a while too, as well.
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard ancient Egyptian music?
Ooh, yes. I love Egypt.
I can't say that I'm
country.
familiar.
I mean their history.
Yeah. I can't say
stupid.
that I'm familiar with any like compositions recovered from back then. I'm sure they exist. God, I've heard Babylonian hymns back in the day. I'm sure like there's sheet music or whatever music was passed down from back then. I'm sure it exists today. Like there was actually this one Greek ode or whatever. I forget what it's called, but it was like the first sort of instance of recorded music passed down through centuries, and somehow we were able to actually notate it. Yeah, I don't know. It's how to say.
That's amazing.
It's so tragic, right? That there's so little recorded written record of what happened back then. I mean, you've got all these clay whatever clay tablets or whatnot that we've got passed down to us now. It's a miracle that they've survived, frankly. But there's just like all these, fragments of music and other culture, from Egyptian civilization, from Greek civilization, from Roman civilization. Like, oh my God, I've been wondering what Roman music has sounded like for ages, but like there's so little of it that survived to the present day. It's tragic.
Right. The only thing that you have left is just some notes on the paper, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Or on a stone tablet.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I wish more music like that were available, because I feel like, listening to a song from way back then, or a composed piece of music, rather. I don't know, like, songs are more of a newer thing in, like, recent centuries. But, like, hearing a composition, like an instrumental, what have you, from any point in time, I feel like it connects you to those people in history. Like, I remember distinctly I was listening with some of my friends from that one music frat in college. We gathered one time, and we were drinking, we were partying, and somebody had put on one of those ancient Babylonian hymns that I told you about. And one of my friends, who was also like an anthropologist, like he started getting like really emotional over the idea that we will never really know the people who composed like these ancient hymns, even though like their music passed down like to the present, and we're hearing it and all that and connecting over it. It's just like, it's the tragedy, I guess, of of
Now I'm
cultural
getting sad.
of cultural exchange, like from time, and like what we save and what ends up getting carried on to current times. I'm a history guy. I think a lot about this stuff, right? It's very existential to a degree, but it's also it's also kind of comforting knowing that, you know, people like thousands of years ago did the same shit that we're doing now, almost. Just with different, you know, just with different technology, with different, you know, motivation, inspiration maybe, but you know, people were still making music, they were still you know, writing, they were still partying and all that stuff.
Right. Like that making music was a hobby, just like how it is now, you know.
Hmm.
So you know, I can understand why it was such a big impact on, you know, their society at the time. Cause you know, that was probably like one of the only ways they could express themselves. How else would they? Besides
Yeah.
art, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say, I guess. I mean, I don't know all the language. Obviously, I don't know like ancient languages or whatever. But hearing, Ori's about to drop an Egyptian track. But like hearing, like
Watch, watch me.
hearing these ancient melodies from like thousands of years ago, I feel like connects you immediately more with a culture than like an ancient script or like an ancient, you know, piece of art that might be you know, might have a lot more context behind it than you're ready to translate. You know, it's been said that
Right.
music is a universal language in some respects, and I do agree with that to some degree. Obviously, there's a lot of context that also goes into music as well, but like when you do hear like an old piece of music, like I feel like a lot of those emotions still do translate in a way where like if you came across like some ancient Nordic runes or whatever, you wouldn't be able to tell like what it was saying off the top of your head, right?
Right, right.
Oh yeah, sorry anonymous. I for some reason I guess my chat doesn't allow, I guess, anonymous people to send chats or links or what have you. Not anonymous, you know, chatters. I think I can, I or admins can send them just fine, but, uh, but yeah, I guess that answers one of the other questions I had for you. Have you attempted to learn any instruments, or have you tried learning how to produce yourself?
Yes, all the time. You know, I've done it for a while, ever since I was, you know, in high school again.
Oh, neat.
You know, I try to familiar myself with different software.
Hmm.
You know, Audacity, the most basic one there is.
Oh yeah. I remember
Yes,
back in
I'm
the
just trying to
day.
get familiar.
Sorry. I remember back in the day, what was it? I made this basic ass vaporwave sort of track in Audacity, just like a single track, just cutting and pasting and adding reverb and slowing it down you know, trying to get some sort of comprehensible piece of music out of it. And I think I did succeed, but I just never did anything with it. I think I just sort of kept it to myself. And you know, in a sense, like that's kind of the most pure form of music making, I guess, making something for yourself and you know, just to try to dabble your toes in it and get better at something, because you know, sometimes you know, putting yourself out there, it is scary.
Yes, definitely, definitely. I always think, like, what are people gonna think about me? You
Yeah.
know?
Have you, I don't know, like, a lot of the covers you've produced, unfortunately haven't gotten around to listening to them, but, like, have you produced them yourself? Like, what programs are you using now?
See, I sadly do not have a special talent to do
Hmm.
music mixing.
Oh, that's fair.
But my friend Jack, he actually mixed all of these for me.
Oh, good guy,
Um,
Jack.
he's amazing. Yes, he did it all for me, and you know, he's very, very nice about it. He says in return, I'm giving him more training to make his work better. So, you know, It's so sweet.
There you
I
go.
offered to like I wanted to really offer to try to like pay him at one point,
Yeah.
but I knew he would yell at me. So.
Man, God bless like those indie VTuber producers who are, you know, offering their talents to everybody else. Like I have a friend
Right.
I have a friend of mine, Noriboshi Ariel. I don't know if you've heard of her, but she's like this songstress, cantomancer type VTuber who's, you know, also into like idol sort of music, but also sort of infuses that with a lot of like thrash metal, power metal sort of sounds. Like she does a lot of really cool production stuff. I've had her help me in the past with some of my own production, but you know, I've also been trying my best to I guess wean myself off of that reliance because you know, I want to support my friends and the art that they do, of course, but I also, at a certain point, I want to be able to do stuff at my own convenience too, and do my own mixes, and you know what I mean? Like it's it's hard.
Yeah, I know what you mean, especially, you know, see, what's very irritating, like I bring up right now, is that I get my ideas to make original songs when I can't sleep at night.
Oh yeah.
It's 3 a.m. I'm sitting in my bed and I'm thinking about like a nice tune. I'm like, oh, that would be fire.
Yeah, no, I've
Then
had
I
I've
get
had that
mad.
happen. Oh my god, I've had that happen to me before too, where I'm just sort of starting to fall asleep in bed, and suddenly this banger idea for like a lyric or a riff or whatever starts looping over and over, and I'm just like, fuck, I guess I've got to write down and make some sort of note. Guess I got to wake up and make some sort of note of this, you know?
Yes, yes. Like if I think it's baller enough, I wake up and I voice record like a tune really quick.
Mhm.
And then whenever I wake up, I listen to it and I'm like, hey, yo, that actually was a great idea. I actually never got around to sharing it with my friends, but I found some ideas so
Oh,
far.
that's cool.
So I'll share them with you later, Jack. Just if you're here.
Nice. So you're currently working on an Ori song then, is that right? But I guess it's a literal Ori song, both an original song and an Ori song.
I never thought about it that way. Yes, I am. I'm trying to figure out, you know, a good beat, a good melody. I want to really make an original song just to kind of get myself out there and to kind of like show these agencies like, hey, this is what I can bring to your table, you know.
Hey,
Pick me
yeah.
and we think.
Best of luck there, you know, it is I've tried writing my own stuff in the past, and you know, I've gotten a few good ideas down, certainly, and maybe a few good songs here or there, but it's just like, man, I mean, I don't know. Part of it is also because of my own music education. You know, I know the drums, I know a lot of like percussion stuff. So I'm a very rhythmically minded sort of person. You know, usually beats come to me more naturally than like melodies or harmonies or stuff like that. So, you know, whenever I write, it's usually sort of a very, I guess, I don't know. I'm kind of trying to fit like a round peg into a square hole or something like that. You know, trying to brute
That's
force.
a great way to explain that.
Yeah,
I feel the exact same.
Yeah. I try to brute force like melodies and harmonies, and like sometimes it works, but you know, I guess the best songs I've ever written, you know, sometimes it's because I've also been working with, you know, my bands when doing them, and they've helped sort of clarify the melodies and harmonies that those songs ended up, you know, not to take away from my own talents or anything, but I'm very fortunate to have people who are more educated in that theory sort of lane to help me, you know, get on that right track.
Right, yes, that's why I'm so grateful to have my friends here with me. Jack, because he knows how to do this mixing and mastering, and it's so much better than mine, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just See, whenever you do vocals and mastering at the same time, it's a lot. So I'm so happy to have, people who are just talented enough to be able to do that. Cause I can give vocals, but mixing and mastering, that's not my strong suit at all.
Right.
Yes.
Writer's block is so hard to deal with. You know it. Let me see if I can. There's this one website here. Oh yes, here we go. Brian Eno, a few decades ago, this might help Blackjack. He came up with this one thing called it's just like a set of cards called oblique strategies. Basically, it's this very sort of, I guess, like one sentence or a phrase, like piece of advice that, it's printed on a card that, it's meant to get, inspiration jogging. This might help. This is a, digital version of that for if you ever need to, like, break any log jams in your, I guess, creative processes. And goodbye, Anonymous. Thank you so much for for popping by the stream. It's nice to see you. Let me see here. Oh, do you have any, I guess, dream collabs in, like, the VTuber space? Or either VTuber or outside?
Goodness. Do I? I have so many.
Yeah.
First off, I want to definitely join an agency.
Oh, hell
yeah. I'm not gonna definitely be the indie VTuber type. I need some help and some guidance, and
yeah.
I don't mind risking a few, liberties to,
Totally.
Be in a company.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, I just looking from the outside in, like, it feels like there always develops this strong sort of sense of camaraderie among agency VTubers, so you won't be lacking there for sure.
Definitely, yes. And, that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to, get all these things out there, do my best. So, if they ever come by, I can show them, like, hey, this is how I act when I stream. I can sing, I can perform.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to teach me anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
I got make it more sensual. The one that I got when clicking in randomly was Be Extravagant. I don't know what that's supposed to mean for my creative energies later on, but, I am trying to do a pretty fancy title sequence right now in my glam metal deep dive video, so maybe that'll fuel that, so who knows? I don't know.
bet it will. I definitely bet so, because, even if you think, like, oh, no, this won't do anything, I've been surprised so many times.
Oh, yeah. Is there a particular agency that you wanted to join, like between Hololive, Niji, or Vshoujo, or even any of the smaller ones coming up right now?
Definitely want to join Hololive. That is my dream agency.
Right on.
Yes, hopefully they'll take me in.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for, like, the talents that Hololive's attracted in however long. It's Jesus Christ. I've been around so long in the VTuber scene, like, I can't process that 4 years have passed. Like, it feels like yesterday that I was watching fucking Kiryu Koko and it's another talent that I read. Like, there's so much. Hololive is such a staid, like, established brand and tradition in the VTuber space, and you really understand why with all the talents that they have.
Right? It's amazing. Everybody is so talented. I want to be like that.
Hey, yeah.
And
Absolutely. I believe in you. I believe in all other, like, indie VTubers that are trying to do their own thing inspired by Hololive. Like, you know, not to obviously not to diss agencies, but I really do admire the creative talents of recently coming up indie VTubers. You know, like seeing, getting to know all of these different people with this music talk stream of the past few weeks has been really illuminating. Just seeing all the different musical talent in the space.
Yes, you probably met so many nice people already.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Blackjack's one of them, of course.
Yes, he referred me. I could say.
Idle cover when he's asking.
Cover it, but or I will cover one. Oh, oh no. I mean,
Idol. That's that one song from that one. What is it? Hoshino-ko or whatever.
oh, she know. Oh, you know what? I could do that. I could do that.
I mean, it's interesting. You know, I'm someone who hasn't really tuned into like seasonal anime in a long time, so I've just been hearing all of these different like new anime songs coming by and like people covering and like they're becoming popular in the VTuber space. And I'm just over here like, huh? What the fuck they doing over there and all that, you know?
Right. Yes. I definitely want to try to get a hold of that opportunity because, whenever an anime gets popular, it's all over YouTube. So once you do a cover, that's a good opportunity to get, people rolling in.
Yeah, no, I admire, all the VTubers with the energy to hop on trends like that, do like editing, like, oh my god, like the one person I was telling you about, Noriboshi Ariel, she always does like singing March, right, every year. And she edits her own backing tracks for that. Like she does like shorts every day, like a YouTube short every day for like of singing March. And like she edits all of those backing tracks. And I'm just like, girl, how do you have the fucking stamina?
Right? I think I'm like, guys, how can you do this all day? Like, okay, with the right motivation, I can see. But
Oh yeah.
physically, I would think.
Yeah. No, me, I'm just like, I don't know. I always like going at my own pace as a creative. Like I don't know if I've said yet, but I do these like a lot of music history deep dives, and I do a lot of research, my own sort of voiceovers on the side using OBS. I do all the editing, so all my main content, how to say, is usually like I usually upload it like months apart. In the meantime, I'm doing these talk streams, which have been really fun, of course, but they're only like once a week or so. So like I'm not like the most indie VTuber by any means, but most active indie VTuber by any means, but I still have a lot of fun with it.
Right? Yes. Like, I think about that too. I haven't, this is actually probably my first stream in about 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Just cause, life and, college is starting soon for me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and just trying to get stuff together because I do want to really do a Halloween event.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Drop some Halloween song covers, have a cool little party in my server. It would be
God.
nice.
Yeah,
horror games.
I need to do something seasonal at some point. I usually the only stuff I do is like put something on, Twitter or my community tab, like an image that I spent like 10 minutes or so editing in GIMP.
GIMP is crazy. I remember GIMP.
I mean, I don't know. I've quite liked using it recently. I've never had like Photoshop or like any Adobe licenses, so like I'm usually all about those sorts of open source, free softwares.
Yes, I'm the same. Oops.
Let's see. Oh,
Sorry, I had to clear my throat.
no, it's okay. It's okay.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you have you mentioned Osu earlier. Apart from that, do you have any other like favorite music games?
Ooh, definitely Project Diva.
Hmm. That's
And all of the
the
Project Diva games.
that's the Vocaloid series, right?
Yes, Hatsune
Hmm.
Miku. The
I
most
re-
recent is Megamix.
I see. I see. I don't think I'm familiar with that many games though. Of course, I think they're published by Sega, so I have definitely heard of. They've come over my radar.
Yes, they are made by Sega.
I used to be very big into like the Rock Band and Guitar Hero games back in the days. I don't know how much. I don't know if you were
Oh my
ever.
goodness.
Yeah, I don't know if you were ever
No.
old enough for the height of that, but like that was just like.
I definitely was. My cousins would play that all the time, and
Oh
I actually
yeah.
bought a Wii recently with Rock Band on it.
Oh, that's fun. It's.
Yes.
Yeah, I just had such a good time back in the day. I used to be in this like online sort of bands with a few other people over like PSN, and we would try to go for like top
Right.
spots and leaderboards for various songs. And I downloaded so much fucking DLC for that game. Like, God bless my mom. She spent way too much on that game for me when she could have easily saved more of that for our bills and stuff. But it's just like I had such a fun time back in the day on that game.
Yes. Moms are amazing. I'm so grateful. My mom is the same. Like, I
Yeah,
think about all the stuff she bought me, and I'm like, man, that could have went
yeah,
towards our water bill, our
yeah.
food. No, you did it for my happiness.
Yeah, and I mean it's the same thing too. Like I go nowadays to like Target and whatever to grocery shop, and I'll browse like the toy aisle just out of curiosity, and I'll see like these these Lego kits, and I used to be super into Lego back in the day, and I'll look at these prices. Some of these Lego kits go for like fucking $50, $70, and
Oh my goodness,
I'm like,
yes.
why did I beg my mom into getting all this shit for me when I was so much younger? Oh my god. I mean, when you're that young, it's not shit. Obviously it's great.
Right?
I mean, I can't I can't be going around dissing Legos. I admit I have a few different Lego kits that currently in my room that I've built, but
Oh, I can tell you, the Lego kits that I would buy, even if they're $50, I would definitely buy the botanical kits
oh
with the
yeah,
flowers. I don't know, I love them. I don't
they're
like
neat.
building them, but if I get a girlfriend or something that likes Legos, I will
Oh
have her
yeah.
build them for me so I can put them around my house.
There you go. Yeah, no, I would love one of those sets as well. Like, if not that, like, one of those, like, Lego City kits where it's like a miniature scale, like, city.
Oh, good. That would be amazing. Actually, Lego has been coming out with a lot of new kits, like Harry Potter themed ones,
Mm-hmm.
Animal Crossing even, and they actually recently came out with a Nightmare Before Christmas one.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
I know, isn't it? I'm so excited.
I remember actually recently today my a friend of mine, we were talking about like the Alien series or whatever, because the new film's out and all that, and
Right.
he sent me this image of like a mock-up of somebody had made of like a Lego Alien set, and I'm just like, oh my god, Lego, that would print money, get on that now.
Exactly. You're like, guys, write this down. Write this down.
There's this place near my college that sells huge Lego sculptures and stuff that are like 500. It's official Lego store. Oh, that's neat.
Wow.
I love official Lego stores, man, especially when they've got like all those different like dispensers for like individual like color bricks and stuff. That is lit.
I've actually never been.
No, I'm fortunate enough to be, living in New York City as I do. Of course, Rockefeller Plaza, they have that giant Lego store, and oh my god, like some of the stuff that they got there is just really incredible. Definitely, if you ever have a chance, if there's ever like a Lego store around you, I definitely recommend it.
Advertisement.
Yeah, you don't have to sponsor me for that, Lego of America.
You know what? Maybe they'll contact you one day and be like, hey, you should do this ad campaign for us.
God,
You love Legos, right?
I've wanted to do like a Lego hand cam stream. Like that was originally like a few months ago when I started collecting Legos again. That's what I was kind of, I guess.
Great idea. Why don't you?
It was kind of what I was angling for, but I don't know. I mean, at a certain point, I kind of finished building all of the affordable Lego kits like being sold at my Target, so I'm kind of holding off for now until I get like a tripod sort of stand for my phone.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. You have to have the right equipment.
Yeah, I need some sort of proper setup in order to do like hand cam streams. I'd love to, at some point. It's just like being able to get the right set. Like, actually, recently, when I put together a cosplay recently to try and do like IRL videos as resi, so to speak. And as part of that, I bought a selfie stick from Target for the first time, believe it or not. I've never purchased a selfie stick before, like, a few weeks ago.
Yes, I was actually playing with one yesterday while I cleaned my room.
Yeah,
I am very ADHD. I'm sorry.
No, it's just like, it's crazy. Like, I'd gone without that sort of convenience because, like, I was going around this sort of the grounds of Forest Hills where the King Gizzard concert was being held, and I had my phone on the selfie stick, and being able to shoot like B-roll just going around the fairground, being able to not fairground but the venue or whatever, but being able to do that, being able to frame poke my phone up over a sea of people and get some footage of the band on stage. It's so convenient that you don't really think of a convenience like that. I mean,
right? It is crazy because they came out so long ago, and you're like, why did I use this yet?
Yeah, I mean, at least I don't know. I'm pretty fortunate to have a pretty decent wingspan, so I don't know. I've never really had to like reach my phone. I guess too far for a good selfie.
Right. Do you have just long arms, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I wish I had that.
Yeah, but Resli, what you know about the giant Toys R Us? Oh my god.
The giant Toys R Us.
I actually went to that place back in the day before it closed. I remember, I think it was, I was there with a cousin of mine who actually lived in New York City himself, native New Yorker. Oh my god, I wish that there were a place like that again, but, God knows, Times Square's rental prices are just through the roof these days.
Right, I actually saw this one YouTuber for this one agency I was looking into. It's way smaller.
Oh yeah.
But she had so many fans and friends that loves her and everything.
Right.
And
right.
for her birthday, they decided to rent out a billboard on Times Square for her.
Oh, that's cute.
I know, and I was so inspired. I was like, I hope if that happens to me someday, I would tweak.
Hey, I mean, part of what's cool, I guess, about those sorts of billboards is that just with enough gumption, with enough, crowdfunding, you could get a billboard, and I just find that so fascinating, like seeing VTubers take over the space like that.
Right, they're gonna take over the world. That's what. I'm just kidding.
I hope so. From your lips to God's ears. Let's see. Oh yeah. So, I guess is singing something that you've done for a while? Like, do you regularly do karaoke's and all that?
See, this is one of my bad sides about me. I'm scared to sing in front of people.
Oh yeah.
But I make covers, so I don't know. It's so much easier to do something pre-recorded. But I'm trying to get over that fear, because if I want to be in an agency and do these concerts and everything, I need to get out of my shell.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's definitely a trip getting to get on stage before a big crowd of people and deliver a decent performance. But I don't know. There's kind of the flip side to that too, where if you like kind of flip a switch, like the adrenaline, you can use that to fuel your own performances.
Right? That's what I usually do. Just the nervousness, just kind of gives you that power.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's also some technique that goes into it too, with calming the nerves and feeling a bit more assured of yourself. But I don't know. It's I definitely think that with practice, you're definitely gonna get more comfortable with it. I mean,
Yes,
sorry,
that's
go
what I'm
ahead.
trying to do.
I personally, I've been wanting to do like karaoke's for a while. It's just, I mean, I'm a lazy orange cat boy. It's in the name. I haven't been I haven't been so proactive in like getting the right instrumentals or whatever. I want to do more singing. I've released my own covers, my own vocal covers and drum covers. But I don't know. It's just like getting to I mean, for one, on YouTube, getting to share an experience like that for a decent number of people. It's not exactly guaranteed, given like I guess demonetization and copyright that comes with that. I mean, I might get a stream taken down, but I'm just like, I mean, for my case, being an indie VTuber, I'm sure a few people will show up, but I'm just afraid, like, what if not that many show up to hear me sing for a stream that might get taken down? It's like a lot of thoughts swirling around my head like that.
You're like, do I want to risk a copyright strike?
Yeah.
I know
Like,
exactly what you mean.
yeah. And oh my god, and like in my line of work, I mean, like I said, like I tend to work at my own pace. I don't take too much stock in video to video being like monetizable or what have you, but like I at least want my videos to be seen, and like if my videos get like a copyright strike or they get taken down or anything by that, that bums me the fuck out.
Right. I get so scared. I'm like, oh my god, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh! But then I realize, I'm like, wait, it's actually not that serious.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, even if it's not that serious, it still scares me.
Now, I will say, like, one good thing about the VTuber space I've noticed, at least with regards to like vocal covers or like using different like footage, there's not that big of a tendency to do false copyright strikes, right? Like to falsely claim content that's not yours and try to get somebody's video taken down. I had that happen to me sometime like a few years ago.
No.
And it was just that was a whole pain and a half to fucking deal with. I won't get into specifics because I'd rather just leave that shit in the past for now, but just like it's really made me think twice about, approaching like something copyrighted like that since.
Right, yes. I remember whenever YouTube used to not be so strict about it.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
whenever it happened, everybody started freaking out. They were like, dude, what? Why is my channel deleted?
Adpocalypse, yeah, and all that
The
stuff.
apocalypse, yes. Oh my goodness. Yes, the ads are taking over right now.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate, I will not think anybody lesser from my audience for using an ad blocker or anything like that. Given how
Oh
fucking,
yes.
given how ubiquitous these ads are, like, oh my god, I feel like, I open a video and like it serves me up like 30 seconds of ads or whatever, right? And I get like a minute into a video, then it offers me up another set of ads, and I'm just like, come on, man, like, do you really need to sustain your servers that badly?
Right? YouTube is like the largest streaming platform. You know? Or not
Yeah.
streaming, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, they're the only viable video streaming
Yeah.
platform on the internet. I mean, God knows,
I
like, where else
see.
are you
I'm
gonna...
even switching to Nico Nico Do That, if you've ever heard of that.
Oh, yeah, the Japanese one, right?
Yes, I'm considering I'm making a channel for that. I'm always
Hey.
gonna be a YouTube person, but
It could never could hurt, putting the platform on another social media site. I mean, me personally, I'm good enough just staying on YouTube, on Twitter. I have a Blue Sky, even a Mastodon, but like, I don't really venture that much farther beyond that.
I might just be like a Gen Z, but what's a Blue Sky?
Blue Sky is it's one of the Twitter replacements that was announced in, the past few years. That's the one that's actually run by the person who ran Twitter before, Jack. It's really interesting because Blue Sky was initially like one of I think it was like invite only or something like that. So you had to have somebody who was like a friend who was already there to like invite you with like their own code to get in. And I have my own account there just in case Twitter eventually goes, tits up under current management.
Right. Yeah, I can see why you'd be a little bit wary.
Yeah.
Wary?
Yeah.
Is that how
And
I can say it?
Yeah. And Mastodon too. That's another kind of, I guess, Twitter replacement, though it's a lot more of a confusing one in that it had it was like decentralized sort of, so there was a lot less, I guess, a lot less consistency between like aesthetics and layout between like server to server.
Oh, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, and like I could like branch out to TikTok or like maybe even Instagram if I really wanted to and try to do like more real type stuff, but I feel like I'm just sort of fine doing my own thing, building my own community on YouTube.
Right, yeah, and that's how so many famous people now, that's how they started out, so I could see why you would want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in this for the long game, ultimately. I have my own IRL job that, sustains me just fine enough. I'm fine doing this as a side thing. It would be, I mean, when I did do it as kind of a full-time thing when I was in between jobs, it was neat. I got to make a lot more content for the channel in a lot more of a quicker pace, but there was definitely a lot more pressure on me at that time.
Right, yes. I understand. With VTubing, it's very pressurized, especially whenever you don't have all the equipment you need necessarily yet.
Yeah. I mean, me nowadays, it's just like, with the whole scene just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger constantly, I'm just kind of doing my own thing, and I'm kind of like, I'll find my own niche of VTubers who are, passionate about music, and eventually I'll find, some success from that, I'm sure. I mean, Jesus, like, from the very beginning, I wanted to do like all sorts of things with like the community or whatever with my channel that I never got around to because, again, lazy orange cat boy. But you know, this music talk stream was one of them. You know, I wanted to do a sort of thing like some sort of consistent stream where I would get on with you know, another VTuber who loves, you know, music or makes music or does stuff like that and sort of shoot the shit with them. You know, I'm glad that I've been able to finally fulfill that. Do you mind if I step away real quick to get some water?
Yeah, I don't mind. I'll probably step away for a second too.
Okay. 1 second. Let me just... Alrighty.
Be right back, everybody.
Oh, what'd you say?
I said be right back, everybody.
Okay. Be right back. It is I, the sentient glass of water, returned from retrieving himself. Yes. Let me see. Mute you. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how much longer I'll be going on for here, but I do have, I think, a few more questions here that I prepared for Ori. It's actually kind of funny. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I was away last minute trying to get some milk for my mac and cheese later tonight. So I had to set up a lot of things last minute, including the Q&A, but I'd like to think we're having a pretty cool conversation tonight. I'm really enjoying this. Oh, you back?
I am, yes.
Welcome back. Let me see here. So I don't know if I have that many more questions left here, but let's see. I guess I could just ask, do you have any favorite, like, bands, artists, genres, like, apart from, like, Vocaloid or any of the VTuber music scene stuff that we've talked about so far?
Let's see, like, I mean, I usually listen to whatever. I mean, as long as it sounds good, I'm a fan of it.
That's fair.
You know, I do steer away though from like heavy metal or screamo.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
You know, sometimes if it's a bit too much, it's just not my kind of thing.
Yeah,
or
no,
classical music, it's too slow.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand, you know, those viewpoints. God knows I I don't really have that much of an ear for screamo music either. I mean, There's the only one band that is able to do like death growl vocals really well that I'm personally a fan of is Opeth. Like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but they're like basically a progressive metal band with screamo elements added. But I don't know.
Yes, I'm not familiar, sadly.
Eh, yeah, that's fine. Do you have any like musical guilty pleasures?
In what way?
Like, I don't know, anything that it's kind of embarrassing, but you still like it.
Oh, I mean, I could see Vocaloid being one of them.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah.
Yes. A lot of people, they're like, ew, you listen to Vocaloid? It's amazing. There's
Ah,
so many beautiful songs. It's just
yeah.
you have to listen to it to believe it, and most people wouldn't even try.
I mean, hey, no judgment from me here, nor from, I guess, most of the other VTuber scene, really. I feel like there's a lot of people in the community that just like super into Vocaloid.
Right? It's getting more popular, and I'm very glad.
Yeah. Like, what is it? Like, I know especially like Ike Eveland, like Niji Sanji had like a big Miku obsession. Get who else, but just so many like big name VTubers obsessing over Miku. It's fun to see. I mean, like I said, I've never been too big into Vocaloid personally, but just having been, around the internet for ages and, being familiar with the site of Miku, seeing where Vocaloid is now, it's just like, it makes me kind of nostalgic a bit.
Yes, because Vocaloid is one of those genres that you've listened to whenever you're like, what, 10? And now you're like a whole decade older and you're like, wow, wait, I remember this.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
just like nostalgia. I love that feeling of nostalgia.
Yes. Also, yes, Blackjack, I am making mac and cheese for dinner tonight. Probably that and some hot dogs, I'm thinking. Yeah, that's... Oh, God. I might as well stop before I make myself a bit more hungry, but I don't think we have that much, longer in the stream.
Yes, I probably should be heading out about around now.
Okay.
But I'll take another question if you have your last question. I don't mind.
No, I think, what is it? I've already gone through everything that I I wrote down for you before stream. I was kind of saying while you were away getting water, what was it? Before stream tonight, I had to get some milk for that mac and cheese or whatever. So
I had to run to the store.
yeah, I had to rush I had to rush real quick to Target, and by the time I got back, it was only like 10 minutes till stream, so I had to like real quick set up OBS scenes, get chat prepared, send out the social media blast, all that stuff. So
Right. Yes. No, I had the exact same issue. Don't worry. I was coming. I got your text while I was still in the movie theater.
oh, it's okay.
And I was like, oh, I'm coming home.
What is VTubing if not working through various levels of scuff?
Exactly, and that's why it could totally be a job. Just saying.
Definitely. Well, okay then. Ori, it has been fantastic having you. Where can people find you?
Oh, so I do have a Twitch, and I do have a Discord server everybody can join. I will post my link tree in the chat just to make it easier.
Oh, actually, no, send it to me on Discord. I'll put it in chat right there.
Alrighty, yeah, everything will be on my link tree.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me sec. Copy text. Yeah, everybody, go follow Ori. She's really sweet and had a lot of fun today.
Thank you guys so much, and thank you for the interview. I really appreciate it.
Of course, definitely. And
Yes.
yeah, thank you, chat, once again to tuning in. Not sure what I'll be doing next as far as updates to my glam metal series, but definitely stay tuned for that. I'm probably gonna update my Patreon at some point in the next few days, so stay tuned, y'all. In any event, I will see y'all. Oh wait, shit! I completely forgot. Now that I have viewers here, we might as well raid into someone.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea.
We got anyone to raid here? Yeah, I guess there's.
I love you too, Dre.
There isn't really anyone here, unfortunately. I guess there is like. Akos Bales is doing like a prank stream or something. I don't know. Whatever the case, I think I'm gonna leave it just leave it there. But y'all, thank you so much for tuning in today. I've been Merrier, and I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.